Ben Shapiro says the NFL turned on its fans. Ben Shapiro, very manly, very big football guy.
I frankly don't care who performs the halftime show at the Super Bowl.
Of course he doesn't.
I think it's a waste of time and a waste of money.
But he's got to talk about it and talk about how this culture war issue is the most important thing of all time.
It is not made for people like
Be
me
offended.
anyway, meaning straight men. And so Bad Bunny.
Straight men. Ben Shapiro, failed theater boy, pretty little theater boy who couldn't make it in theater, so he became a grifter in conservative media. Literally a pretty theater boy. And you're going to say, okay.
Bunny, hosting the halftime show at the Super Bowl. I actually think it's kind of hilarious because he said that he wouldn't come back to the United States while Trump was president, and here he is breaking his vow. Well, not only is he doing that, he's now showing up at SNL to speak Spanish at you. More of this. Honestly, good. More.
Speak Spanish at you. Be offended, guys. Imagine being offended hearing another language. I've seen this growing up. I know all the whites. I'm from the land of the whites. I am of the whites, okay? They would hear Spanish at Walmart, and these dipshits would say, that guy's talking shit about me in Spanish. Oh, he should talk English. He could fight me here. It's like, bro, Jim Bob, he's not saying shit about you. He's just talking to his family. Calm down.
I like that. This is good. I think the Democrats should show who they are. I think cultural left
Why is this about Democrats? It's Bad Bunny, bro.
wingers should show who they are.
And the
Bad
NFL.
Bunny should show up on SNL and lecture Americans on why they need to learn Spanish. And by the way, I'm not anti-learning Spanish.
It was
I've
a
been
joke.
trying to do it
was a
myself
joke.
for years and failing. I think it's a good thing to know multiple languages. But I don't think Americans take kindly to being lectured about how they must learn Spanish.
Americans don't take kindly to anything. They get offended about everything. Colin Kaepernick takes a knee, they burn their NFL jerseys, bro. They get offended over anything. Holy crap.
The English language speaking country that is the United States.
Yeah, with Los Angeles, Las Vegas, with El Paso, with all these different states that are literally born from Spanish heritage. It's just like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Doing the Super Bowl
Nevada,
halftime
dude.
show.
You're so mad. Oh.
Even Fox News.
Bad Bunny is
Even Fox News. Good, good, good. Okay, I'm going to play this whole thing. But I think Americans also get really upset when immigrants come in, work harder. Okay, immigrants come work harder. They know multiple languages, and they get made fun of for it. Like, oh, that guy speaks broken English. He could barely... Bro, you can barely speak English. You don't speak any other language, dipshit. But it's an inferior... You're feeling inferior. It's inferiority complex that you have in America for many people towards immigrants.
Language speaking country that is the United States.
I'm doing the Super Bowl
Inferiority
halftime
complex.
show. Fox News.
Bad Bunny is my favorite
musician,
and he should be the next president.
Bro, I do not know what he's saying, but he's spitting right now, bro. He is spitting right now. I got no idea. I got no idea what he's saying. I just know he's spitting.
Okay, like, I'm not going to be lectured about learning Spanish by Bad Bunny, a person
It's a joke. It's not a lecture, you bitch.
who calls himself Bad Bunny. And I hope the Democrats embrace this full scale. That actually, it is an obligation
Bro, you're on a song rapping with Tom McDonald. You lost your credibility
of
here.
everybody to learn Spanish, not for him to speak English so that we can understand him. Go with this. And when I am looking for
It's a
cultural
joke.
arbiters who are going to really spell out what it is that the Democratic Party should be about, I look to the multicolored hair of Molly Jong-Fast, who says that Bad Bunny represents the values of the Democratic Party. Her hair grows ever more neon. It's kind of impressive. I have to say, I don't know that her hair was always like this, but whoever is her specialist in doing the dye, yeah.
Don't forget that they announced Bad Bunny was going to be, like... They said Bad Bunny was going to be doing the Super Bowl, okay? Bad Bunny doing Super Bowl. I think he's the second most popular artist on Spotify. Like, he's huge, okay? Conservatives made this political. And why is it political? Because of his skin color and because of the language he speaks. Whenever somebody says, don't make it political, when kids get killed in a flood or in a shooting, all right? But they can make it political based off of a performer for the Super Bowl speaking a different language and being a different skin color. All right, if they can make that political. But we can't talk about ICE zip-tying babies and tear-gassing babies and shattering car windows on babies. If you're more mad about Bad Bunny than you are ICE abusing children, you got to check yourself.
Getting creative out there.
If the message is okay or works in different crowds, you don't have to think that that person needs to be your presidential candidate. Like, this is a problem that we all get obsessed by. Is this person ascendant? Is this the one? Is this the way to do it? But you might like AOC. You might like, Pritzker. Whatever the case is, are you getting the message?
And what's important about the op-ed I wrote in the New York Times that Bad Bunny represents a lot of the values that right now the Democratic Party should, the idea that Puerto Rico is part of America,
right,
that we shouldn't be racist against people who come from, these are easy ideas and he's a great messenger. And if you think about Donald Trump got that politics is downstream of culture. That's why he's at UFC fights. That's why he claimed ownership of Jake Paul and Joe Rogan and those people, because he knew that the way to get in front of low frequency voters is to be in the culture.
That's objectively true. People don't really watch politics for politics. If they hear somebody say something political in a sports broadcast or on Joe Rogan or on Theo Von, there's a better chance they'll receive that message, especially if you're not very up to date on C-SPAN, okay? You might vote off of what Joe Rogan tells you about politics. What she said there is 100% proven. Trump won voters who don't vote that often. Low propensity voters who don't really pay attention that much voted for Trump, objectively. I'm sorry if that fact offends you.
Democrats have that too, but they're so reticent to embrace it.
Yeah, liberals have that too, for sure. And Obama had a lot of those voters. But, now Trump has voters who don't really pay attention.
Because they're so cautious and lawyerly, and I think it's a mistake.
Yeah, well, go for it. Go for it. More of this. And I think we should definitely take our political cues from
insult her looks.
Great, brilliant folks over at SNL, who, by the way, spent the weekend also mocking J.K. Rowling for the great crime.
No. Holy
J.K.
shit.
Rowling, you'll remember, told Emma
no.
Watson to basically stand aside, because Emma Watson had been ripping into her a year ago and now is trying to make nice with her.
Dude, this guy talked about straight men, and he called himself a straight man, and now he's talking about J.K. Rowling versus Emma Watson beef. Bro, you're not playing the straight man part well, bro. I don't care how many cowboy hats you put on. I don't care how many times you say yeehaw and say you're a big, strong man or flex your biceps. This guy is definitely... Why are you... What does that guy say in that meme? Why are you... What's that one?
Because J.K. Rowling has committed the heinous sin of saying that boys are not girls and girls are not boys. So that means that it was time for SNL to mock J.K. Rowling. Always on the side of the 20% SNL as opposed to the 80%.
I hate SNL, bro. There's so many ways to make that funny. There's so many ways, but that it's such a cop-out. They do one show a week, and their supposed comedy writers can't do better. It's pathetic.
It's not right.
It's sad.
Probably doesn't.
Okay. Okay. They K. Rowling. The idea of J.K. Rowling, seeing the meme, they K. Rowling, and getting actually mad about it is kind of funny. But overall, D- skit right there.
Keep going with this. Honestly. Cultural left, please. The right will be in power forever if you continue this sort of nonsense.
Yes, Ben, now tell us why we should give all of our tax dollars to Israel.
Folks,
yes.
if you're a homeowner, you need...
Yes. Okay, sell us some products.
On one document, there's a fake notary stamp that pays... If your answer is no, Daily Wire and criminal history today, go to home...
Nice. Home title lock.
Go for it, lady.
Scare boomers.
And she's making the case that the reason she lost the first time is she just didn't have enough time for the American public to get to know her. Ignoring the fact that the more you know Kamala Harris, the less you like her. This is the rule of Kamala Harris. Well, apparently over the weekend, she did a book event, and she started just yelling and screaming about how Donald Trump does not have a mandate because he won a narrow election over Kamala Harris. Well, I mean, that's not how electoral mandates work. If you win, you're the president, and then you get to do the things that you were elected to do. That's typically how it works. Here's Kamala Harris yelling about it.
No, a mandate is like if you have a huge win for a particular issue, you have a lot of political capital to solve that issue. So if Trump wins on solving the economy, but prices are skyrocketing right now, energy's skyrocketing right now, when he runs on ending all the wars, and Ukraine's getting worse than ever before, and Palestine's worse than ever before, and all these different conflicts, like he bombs Iran for Israel, we're bombing Venezuelan citizens, we're trying to do regime change in Venezuela, like Trump is taking nationalism and nationalist ownership of American companies, which some Americans would call socialism. He did not run on any of this. He had no mandate to do any of this at all. And all the people who voted on immigration, they voted for him for immigration. They're like, holy shit, I didn't realize they were actually fascists who were going to beat up little kids. I didn't think they were going to zip tie babies 9 months in. People are like, holy shit, I did not mean to vote for that. He had no mandate. But you can say that over and over again if you want.
And here's the other thing that is quite unprecedented. And it was the tightest, closest presidential election in the 21st century. He does not have a mandate.
Objectively true. And again, if Republicans want to get all pissy and be like, me, he won, my daddy won, you can. But objectively, when it comes to the total vote count, one of the smallest victories in American history. A tiny victory means you do bipartisanship, okay? You work with the other side to find solutions to the key issues you got voted on, you got voted in for. You don't become a literal little dictator boy, okay? You don't become a little dictator boy like Trump has been doing with a very slight popular vote win and like a 1-seat majority in the frickin' House. A mandate? Why not a woman date? We don't need a mandate. We need a woman
So,
date.
I mean, if you yell that it's not a mandate, then it doesn't change anything.
Lost every swing state but the closest? Yeah. And again, if you want to be a slobbering, brain-dead moron, you can be. But remember, you can lose. You can hypothetically, like Trump did, not even hypothetically. Trump lost by 3 million popular votes in 2016, okay? But he won more states than Hillary did. Okay, because our electoral system works that way. So yeah, he barely won the popular vote. He barely won those states, but he did win all the swing states for sure. That's not debated. But like, if you use your big boy brain and think about what is a mandate, what is a popular mandate, and you still can say, oh, it's the smallest victory in the 21st century by far.
There's no constitutional provision where the loser of an election yells a lot, and then magically the mandate goes away. And by the way, that's not even remotely true. That this is the closest American election of the 21st century. That's not true, like, at all, actually. There was an incredibly close election in 2000. It was decided by 700 votes, 600 votes in Florida. 2016 was a very, very close election, as you recall, where the current president lost the popular vote, but won the Electoral College. The 2020 election was actually quite close.
With that one.
This last election was, at best, the third closest election of the 21st century. But, you know.
It's in the bottom 5 of victory sizes, I'm pretty sure, in American history. If you take every election in American history, this is one of the worst victories that we've seen.
Ladies got to do something to make a living these days.
Well, that's. And I don't like Kamala doing her post-presidential run with her book tour. Really pathetic, really, really stupid. Please drop a like, comment, and subscribe.